Well, once again, good morning.
Good morning.
Great. I'm Adriana Barrera. I'm the interim chancellor for the Los Angeles Community College District. It is a great pleasure to be here this morning on the campus of Los Angeles Trade Tech College, one of the 9 colleges of the Los Angeles Community College District. It truly is a pleasure to be here this morning to be speaking about the core mission of our community colleges, which is the creation of partnerships for workforce development to create career pathways for our students before they become our students and after they leave our doors. So this morning, before we get to the core, I do want to introduce a number of administrators and members of the Los Angeles Community College team who are here. To begin with, I'd like to introduce LACCD Board of Trustees Vice President, Mr. Scott Zvonkin. Board Member Mona Field. Board Member Mike Eng. And we have a number of college presidents signifying how important this effort is. To begin with, Mr. Larry Frank, president of LA Trade Tech College. Mr. Marvin Martinez, president of East Los Angeles College. Kathleen Burke, president of Pierce College. Renee Martinez, president of City College. Nabil Abu-Ghazaleh, president of West Los Angeles College. And Chito Kahayan, who is our Vice Chancellor for Economic and Workforce Development. So you see, it's the brain trust of the LACCD is here this morning to lend our support for what we think is an incredibly important effort. To begin with, I'd like to introduce State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Mr. Tom Torlitson. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Barrera, and thank you all for being here. This is a day to celebrate. We have sunshine. We want light to shine on the great progress being made here at LA Tech. I've had the pleasure of knowing Tom Lasella for many years, and his advocacy on behalf of career education is just outstanding and renowned throughout California. And we're here because we also have a deadline coming up where applications for an extremely exciting and innovative program that will link our high school students to our community colleges and to the business world. This is the Pathways, Career Pathways Trust. And there's just been extreme excitement around California looking at the kind of programs that you have here on this college campus at LA Trade Tech, where it's hands-on, it's real. The mathematics, it's not, why are we studying math? Because we don't know where it applies. We know it applies in diesel engines. We know it applies in car repairs. We know it applies in computer science. So where we know it applies in construction. If you cut a beam short, it could cost a lot of money, and things don't work when you don't have that good skill set. And so what's great about career technical education, it gets students motivated. We see motivated students who have a direction in life, they have dreams. They know where they're going, they're focused, they're working on it, and we don't see dropouts in these programs. Anywhere close to what happens in some of the other public schools, that this connection to the real world is not made. So we're delighted to see the progress. We had partnership academies, we have about 490 of them. They sort of piloted. Mike Eng, Daryl Steinberg, who I'll introduce in a minute, as part of the legislative team, we looked at career education, said these programs work, and it got expanded to linked learning. And now, thanks to Daryl Steinberg, who's been our champion statewide on career tech education, he fought on the budget, led in the legislature, worked with the governor to get $250 million that would be a way to create smooth, articulated, connected work towards a career, towards a certificate, towards a college degree, career pathways, and getting our students through successfully and giving them the guidance so they can make it with the least number of courses and the highest level of competency. And so this program is just outstanding. I'll just give a quick report that we have applications totaling over $1.5 billion. So 250 million has drawn the interest of businesses around the state who want to provide internships and real workplace experience for students, and it's excited community colleges and our high schools. Among those, we have agencies who have applied, 34 community college districts statewide, 22 county offices of education, 61 direct funded charter schools, and 158 school districts. So again, it's a tremendous response, and I will only say that Darrell Steinberg has a vision that this should be a down payment. This should be the beginning of a series of such investments, because it's truly an investment in the bright futures of these young men and women and the students on our high school campuses, that once they get a dream and once they have a pathway lined up to get to that dream, they're going to succeed. When we combine California, our high hopes and high expectations of California creativity and career tech education, it works for all the students in California. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the true champion, the absolute greatest leader who's passionate about this, Darrell Steinberg, our friend, the President Pro Tem of the California State Senate.
Thank you very much, Superintendent Torlakson. Let me return the compliment genuinely, because we have a superintendent in California who has a vision that says we don't have to choose between high standards and career application. We need both. We need both. And Tom Torlakson has been on the cutting edge of the career tech movement, the career ed movement for a long, long time, even before I started. So the money is in the right hands, and I'm grateful for our partnership and for your leadership. Thank you, Tom. I want to thank the LA Community College District and LA Trade Tech. I had the privilege and pleasure of touring just a month or two ago, the other elected officials here. So I guess as Superintendent Torlakson said a moment ago, there's good news and there's some challenging news. The challenging news is that we had $250 million and $1.5 billion worth of interest. The good news is that we have $1.5 billion worth of interest from California industries and public educators, both high school and community college. And we are just about to begin the budget season again in California. And the news is pretty good. We always have to live within our means, but certainly we've gone from deficit to pretty healthy surpluses. And I can think of few better investments than to go to that bargaining table again this coming year and say, how about another $250 million to make sure that more young people get these opportunities. The vision here, and it's more than a vision, because now it's actually happening, is pretty basic. Community colleges have been the lifesaver for so many young people. And we need to continue to invest in our community colleges, but we also have to take the best of community college and we need to move it upstream. We need to start in high school. Too often, our job training programs seek to remediate as opposed to prevent falling down or hardship or failure. And the vision of this $250 million is really to re-engineer California high schools and to link those high schools with community colleges, apprenticeship programs, and the workforce. Every young person ought to have a path that combines academic rigor and career application. Whether you want to be a doctor or a health technician, whether you want to be an engineer or a computer technician, it doesn't matter. Everybody ought to have a pathway. That's what LA Trade Tech is doing. That's what the LA Community College District is doing. And that's what we need to That's what we need to combine with changing the high school experience so that no kid fails. Our vision for civil rights demands it. Our economy demands it. Our state demands it. And by the way, as we fight and argue oftentimes in the state capitol about how to reform public education, there could be no more unifying agenda than building linked learning to scale so that every kid has a pathway. Thank you again. This is a really exciting time, and I can't wait when Superintendent Torlakson stands up here a couple of months from now and awards the first round of grants. And then you all, please come to Sacramento come budget time and help us get that next $250 million. It's my honor to invite Scott Sponkin, school board member, LA Community College District. Scott, come on.
Good morning. The reason we're all here today, the reason I get up every morning is because I was a high school dropout and community college turned my life around. The folks standing next to me are what the $250 million are going to do. It's going to allow high school students to come to LA Trade Tech and the LA Community College District and learn how to fix buses, and learn how to build them, and learn how to have a career that matters and where they can be proud and their families can be proud. I am so honored to be joined by my colleagues, Mike Ging and Mona Field, and the college presidents. But I wanted to say thank you to an amazing state superintendent, Tom Torlakson. You have led this state to improve and shoot for the moon, because these students their dreams are dependent upon the two of you. Darrell Steinberg, I've known you for 20 years, and I've watched you lead this state. And I was younger. I had no gray hair. We both were. But Darrell Steinberg and Tom Torlakson are state leaders that understand that these students, each and every one of you, you guys matter, and your careers matter to us. Because if every student that comes to our colleges can achieve their dreams and take care of their family and build safe buses and repair them, because hundreds of people, thousands of people, millions of people ride our buses in Los Angeles. That's what this is all about. So I want to thank you all for being here, but I want to thank the students, because every day when you work hard, what you're going to do is you're going to learn how to fix that bus, so when myself or my wife or my daughter gets on that bus, they're safe. And so I thank you. Thank you so much. It's my honor to recognize one of our great partners from the LA Unified School Board, Steve Zimmer.
Thank you so much. I want to actually bring up, thank the students for staying with us here. I want to bring up my partner and counterpart in this effort, Mike Ging. If you could stand next to me, Mike, as we talk a little bit about what we're going to do here. I want on behalf of Dr. Daisy and all my colleagues on the school board and the whole of the LA Unified School District, I want to thank President Steinberg. I want to thank Superintendent Tom Torlakson and all of our partners at the LA Community College District for standing with us and for really taking this transformative step. Every once in a while, we get it right. And this is an example of us in leadership, together with our students, with our professors, with our teachers, getting it right together. Making sure that we break down once and for all the mythology that there are silos between linked learning and high school and our community colleges. Making sure that the pathways are seamless, that we smooth out the bumps in the road, and that we make sure that once and for all, through the leadership of this proposal, that we are actually not just working together as one, but that we are one. Because the students that are getting ready to put on these uniforms are in our high school classrooms right now, today as we speak. And our courage to make sure that we leave the past of separate funding, the past of separate agendas in the past, and make sure that we know that supporting you today means supporting our kids that are in our high school seats right now, and supporting our kids that are in our high school seats right now means supporting you as well. And the partnership that we are developing through this consortium, I truly believe, with my colleagues here, Mike, Scott, and Mona, with the presidents of the community colleges, and our linked learning teams and adult education teams, together, we are going to have the best proposal, I'll say it right now, the best proposal coming into the state. And those who have led, President Steinberg, Superintendent Torlakson, 5 years from now, we're going to invite you back to LA, and you're going to see a whole new world of people working together. And these folks around us here will know sometimes government really does work. So, Mike, we're going to say
well, thank you very much, school board member of the largest school district in the United States, LA Unified School District, my colleague, my friend, my brother, my partner, Steve Zimmer. I chair the ad hoc committee on adult education and workforce development. Thank you, President Larry Frank, for having us here, hosting us today, and all of the team, President, chancellors. Thank you so much, Tom Torlakson. Tom and I used to climb stairs together. He hurt his knee, but that's the perfect message from his office. Climb every mountain, overcome every obstacle, and even if you hurt your knee, keep on going forward, upward and onward. And Senator Pro Tem Steinberg, let me just tell you, you have influenced 2 generations in my family. My wife, who served with you in the State Assembly and became an incredible admirer of yours, and myself when I served as well. You know, when the voters approved in November of 1988, they approved a revolutionary way to fund education because they weren't happy. It was called Prop 98. And what they envisioned was a continuum of K-12, of K-14, from kindergarten to community colleges. Instead, what they got, and they thought we would all work together, but with few exceptions, what they got was a K-12 and then an emergency room called the community colleges. And having run an emergency room, I can tell you that when students come to us and they have not had the chance to prepare for English, math, and science, we end up remediating them like an emergency room at triple the cost and almost as much time, and it creates discourage, depression, and they don't want to come back. And so that's why Assembly Bill 86 came. AB 86 asked for these consortiums so that people like me could work with good people like Steve Zimmer. And the responsibility that we in the community colleges have is, as Pro Tem Steinberg said, is to work backward in the continuum so that we work together. That it's not a separation, a wall between the K-12s and the community colleges, but we are all working together. We are on the same bus moving forward. And let me just tell you, the brain trust is not people like me, it's the students right here. Because those are the brains that you can trust, and the complexity of the engines and the bodies that they have to fix each and every day is far more complicated than me getting out of bed every morning and reading a few bullet points. Give them a round of applause. These are the brains that you can trust. And so that was Prop AB 86, and now with career pathways and the leadership of Senator Steinberg, we've added another component. It's not just the K-12s and the community colleges, but it's also the employers that by law are required to communicate with us every time we design curriculum, so that people, whether they're in automotive technology, or whether they're in public safety, or whether they're in the healthcare professions, transportation, whether they're in the office systems, or whether they're in taking care of our great networks of goods movement, that we communicate with each other. And these small businesses are telling us, you know, we don't like this once-a-year relationship that we sometimes have with Mom on Mother's Day. One call on Mother's Day, how are you doing? And then that's it. They want an important relationship, a dialogue, so they can really influence the curriculum that comes out, so that what we train is what they need. And that's the $250 million, to reinforce the relationships, to make sure that it's not just once a year, that it's each and every quarter, and every time there's new technology we will train. So thank you very much to our colleagues, and thank you very much, Mr. Zimmer. We are going to work together. Si se puede. El pueblo unidos. And when people are united, we can defeat this horrible thing called dropouts and discouragement in our educational system.
It's my honor now, thank you to my partner, my team. It's our honor right now to bring up the other essential element here, which is making sure that all the training that we do and all the partnerships that we establish lead to real, meaningful jobs. And we have a partner in LA. Here we do things differently. We have a partner in LA in the Chamber of Commerce. It is led by what I call a chamber revolutionary, the Senior Vice President of Education and Workforce Development for the LA Chamber of Commerce, a revolutionary leader, David Rattrick.
Thank you, School Board Member Zimmer and Trustee Ng. First of all, I want to also just acknowledge Dorothy Randall. She's from Kern Price's office. Is Dorothy still here? There she is. Thank you for joining us. And thank your council member for us. So let me just say succinctly, we are so proud to stand with the President Pro Tem, Darrell Steinberg, and with our State Superintendent, Tom Torlakson. We have two of the best leaders in the United States of America fighting for kids, fighting for the economy. So thank you so much to the two of you. We from years and years ago believed deeply and strongly, the LA Chamber and Unite LA, the organization I also lead, in you all, in youth. And that what we needed to do is get out of the way sort of and get behind you, bring together schools and business and labor in the community, and make learning come to life. And this fund that our Pro Tem fought for, and make no mistake about it, everybody said it, but I got the privilege of talking to him about it when it was still in his mind, was his idea, and he made it happen. He absolutely made it happen. So we owe so much gratitude to Darrell Steinberg. And our superintendent, I couldn't be more proud to be his partner, Tom Torlakson, to help us make this happen now. Bring it to our schools, bring it to our community colleges, bring it to our communities, mostly bring it to our students. And I'm not surprised, but very proud that so many of us throughout the state of California have said we want to commit to these kind of partnerships. We want to commit to linked learning. We want to commit to integrating academic and career education. So the fact that we have 275 letters just tells you that this is the right thing. And so I want to say that the business community of California gets it. There is a reservoir of goodwill on behalf of the corporate community of this state that believes in public education, it believes in the needs and the futures of our students, and is willing to come forward and make major commitments toward that end. I'm proud to be standing with JP Morgan Chase as one of our partners that's invested $1.2 million to support linked learning and has committed resources to the LA Chamber and Unite LA, $750,000 to support our efforts toward a STEM hub and linked learning in this region. And they have provided internships, work-based learning opportunities for high school students. This is the kind of corporate champion that we actually do have that often we forget about, the JP Morgan Chase. We have other partners like AT&T that does job shadowing and summer jobs. Warner Brothers that does job soldering and partners with schools in arts, media, and entertainment, Kaiser Permanente and Cedars-Sinai that partners with high schools with LAUSD. Esther Solomon is here today that leads all the linked learning programs for LAUSD. Thank you, Esther, for your great leadership. And so my point is just simply this. This is a moment for us. We need to find ourselves. I really think that the clear message that we're all kind of trying to get our minds around is we can do so much better for so many of the youth that walk away from high school and make high school and make community college and make education the place of their dreams. And the business community is prepared to step up. We stand proud with Darryl Steinberg and with Tom Torlakson, and we pledge our total support to getting that next round of funding for this effort and support those partnerships that are part of today. So thank you very much for that. So now it's my pleasure to introduce one of these champions. I get to introduce Joni Topper, who's the president of the public sector at J.P. Morgan Chase. Please welcome her up.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. This floor is so hard. Choose. Thanks for asking us to be here. I want to give special thanks to David and the Los Angeles Area Chamber of Commerce for including us as a corporate champion for the linked learning movement. This is, as we've just talked about, really an exciting moment in the history of California, and we think that the work-based learning is just such a key initiative to prepare students for both a great career or a great college experience, as well as prepare them for the 21st century career. As a major employer in California and a great partner with our K through 12 schools and our community colleges, as well as our not-for-profit workforce providers, we see that the skills gap that are, the training that's providing meaningful career pathways to good paying jobs are really both very, very important and probably the critical issues of our time. That's why J.P. Morgan has recently committed a different $250 million, but $250 million seems to be the magic number, to launch a global workforce readiness initiative and an employer demand-driven training initiative that we call New Skills at Work. This new initiative is the largest ever private sector effort that's aimed at addressing the skills gap that exists across many industries, including healthcare, advanced manufacturing, where we see today not enough skilled workers to fill the available jobs. In addition to this initiative, we've recently awarded $1.2 million to the Foundation of the Community Colleges and the Linked Learning Alliance for a new initiative to help improve the workforce readiness of our high school students statewide. This grant is going to fund a pilot that will bring employers into the linked learning movement and help numerous high school students obtain paid internships in top fields such as engineering, healthcare, and law. And today, we are calling on every employer to please engage in this effort as the greater Los Angeles area is seeking to really take this incredible opportunity and help create the pathway to great careers. I think probably the most important thing that we've heard today is that we have a magic moment here for the future of our community, for its health and vitality. I think it's really important that we get this right, and I think it's important that we all work together to get there. So really want to thank you for the opportunity to come here and be a part of this effort. Thank you very much. I would like to introduce Neil Emmerich, who I think has a few comments and probably the most important of the day.
Hi, good morning. My name is Neil Emmerich. Just want to thank everyone here at LATTC for opening up doors through career pathways. When I was in high school, I didn't know that I wanted to be a mechanic. I knew I needed to choose a career, but I didn't know about pathways to get to that career. And coming here 15 years after high school, I'm now on the right path to get a good career in the diesel technology program. I know that It's not a dead-end job that I'm going to have. I could be a mechanic, I could be a supervisor, I could be management. There's so many aspects that I can take after I graduate, after I leave, after I'm already out in the workforce. And it wouldn't have been possible without everyone here at LA Trade Tech. Disabled Student Services, I'd like to thank Mr. Guerra, Mr. Ramirez, Mr. Perez, he's not here, Mr. Rojas, all the teachers that have been involved in my development. And again, thank you to everyone here today.
So thank you everyone for being here. We actually, if anybody wants to stick around, Jess Guerra, who's the department chair, and the students are going to take folks on a tour of the diesel training program here, if anybody wants to stick around. But thank you everybody for being here, and it's a great day. Thank you.